going on, everybody? This is Take Control Radio, powered by ForgeRx, and I'm here with Dr. Pohl.
Yeah, this is Dr. Joe, health and wellness coach and obstetrician by night and sometimes during the day as well. Today's topic is a very serious topic, and hopefully we will, after we go through some of the serious parts of it, we will end on a positive note. But we want to address maternal health, and what started this was a article in the paper last week describing an unfortunate event after someone underwent a repeat cesarean delivery. I'm not going to mention any specifics because I want to protect the innocent, so to speak. But our listeners need to know that the maternal death rate in America has gone up significantly in the last 25 years. To give you specific numbers, it's gone from 7.2 deaths per 100,000 births to 17.8 deaths per 100,000 births. Everywhere else in the world, rest of the world, developed world, those numbers have either stayed the same or they've gone down. And before this, our number went up, it did go down because having a baby 100 years ago without being able to have cesarean deliveries, we've obviously given a safety factor to childbirth. But this is alarming. It's disturbing that we have a rising maternal death rate. And you may say, well, what's the relevance of that topic in a gym like this? Yeah. Well, I think the relevance is this. We see human beings in here. We see lots of women, lots of childbearing women, and they are either in the middle of building their family or starting to build their family, or they know someone who's going to build their family. And this is something we want to raise the awareness so that word spreads, that several things should be addressed before you have a baby, or if you've had one baby and you want to address certain things like getting your blood pressure under better control, get your diabetes under better control, and obviously if those two things are caused by being overweight, you want to get your weight down before you get pregnant, because it's just going to complicate your pregnancy.
Yeah, I mean, the biggest thing is, one of the reasons why we opened up ForgeRx is a lot of things that you've been seeing the last 20, 30 years in healthcare in your office. And you're inside, the healthcare system in the hospital and see what's going on and a lot of the issues that people are coming in. And you had noticed, and the reason why we opened up ForgeRx is realize that there's a lot of things that we can do to help, do the best we can to prevent it, but educate people. And that's why we want to be more than just a gym. We want to, really reach more people and let them know that, there's a purpose of fitness, nutrition, and wellness, but there's a big underlying thing that we need to tackle as well, and it's our health. And, why do you think, this issue is what it is?
Yeah. So the obvious question is, why is our number rising? Why is it going up? Why is the maternal death rate going up?
That's tough because, you would think that, technology and science and everything is evolving. It should be decreasing, right?
Correct. And it's true that probably most of these unfortunate events are not in metropolitan areas. Mm-hmm. They are more in remote areas. And in the state of Georgia, we've had lots of smaller hospitals close because they're just no longer financially solvent. And what that does, if that hospital closes their maternity unit and then closes the hospital, that woman then needs to travel further to get care. And if she's got a problem, minutes can be critical to her survival. So if she has to drive an hour to go get care, when it should really only be 15, 20 minutes at most, that may be life or death for her. But the example this past week in the paper was not a remote problem. It was in a metropolitan area. It was in a very reputable city and reputable hospital with reputable caregivers, and still a bad outcome happened. And whether it could have been prevented or not, is going to be debated obviously in court. And so let's go back to the question of why is the number going up? And again, to kind of put it in a historical perspective, the cesarean delivery rate currently is about 34% national average. And in 1970, believe it or not, the cesarean delivery rate was about 3%. So we've gone from 3% to 34%. That's an incredible increase. Why has that gone up? And The answer to that question is also very complicated because of in vitro fertilization, what we call advanced reproductive technology. Now we have older women who had trouble getting pregnant with all sorts of problems, being able to get pregnant. So if you're older having a baby, you're more likely to have medical problems that then complicates the pregnancy, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But I think, the relevance here at Forge RX and with our weight loss program and with our nutrition coaching program and our fitness program is to reach out to women of childbearing age and let them know that their weight influences so many things in pregnancy.
Yeah.
It will increase your risk of getting hypertension and preeclampsia, will increase your chance of getting diabetes, increase your chance of having a large baby. The larger the baby, the more likely you can have a cesarean delivery. And a cesarean delivery is an operation. And even though things go well most of the time, sometimes they don't. It is an operation, and Mother Nature designed women's bodies to deliver babies normally.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, that's why there's companies like us, there's companies like BirthFit that are trying to get this education out. And what we've seen here is, you've delivered a couple of babies that are members of Forge RX, and you talked about how, you're saying is it's an athletic event. They didn't stop exercising throughout their pregnancy, and they were able to have a lot smoother, more efficient, I guess is the word, pregnancy. And then we have clients that they immediately find out that they're pregnant, and they either freeze their membership or they cancel. And that's the last thing we want people to think about doing when they become pregnant. So. Yeah. It doesn't mean stop everything that you're doing. It means still move forward. Obviously, education plays a big role as you move forward. There are things that you do less and less of, but nutrition and training should still be a massive part of what you're doing.
Yeah. Most women that are close to the ideal body weight and are fit and strong are going to have a uncomplicated pregnancy and probably uncomplicated normal birth.
And what I've learned is, like, for example, we have a trainer here at the gym, Mary Ann. She's going through a certification right now. She said there's still a lot of stuff that you can do as you move forward through your pregnancy. Obviously start changing things up, making sure that your exercises, you can still kind of have a conversation, keep your heart rate up. And then with nutrition, what I've learned too is you don't have to eat much more than your maybe maintenance calories. It doesn't have to be necessarily the whole eating for two. I could be wrong, but it's just like, for someone like me who wants to gain weight, I only need to eat a little bit more past my maintenance calories. I don't have to go on this crazy, bulking and eating diet where I eat everything in sight. You just have to eat a little bit more to provide for that second person.
Absolutely. Pregnancy is a 9-month journey, and it's broken down into 3 trimesters, the first, second, and third trimester. And the third trimester is the growth phase of the fetus. So it grows from an average size of about 2 pounds to about 7.5 pounds by the time you get to your due date. So you've got about 6 months to get into that person's head. If she's gaining excessive weight, you have 6 months to try to teach her, educate her on proper nutrition during pregnancy, and you can still undo a lot of problems that would occur in the third trimester. If you can just get her to eat better, eat right, before she starts that 28th week.
And it's going to be huge too. Once they lose the baby, they don't have as far to go to get back to where they were. And if you think about it, not trying to get too graphic, but when you think about delivering a baby in that position that you're in, it's very similar to a squat and the muscles that you use. So it makes sense to, before you get pregnant and during your pregnancy, to build that, what we call motor pattern, and those muscles to be able to activate and use when it's time to get that baby out in the world.
Absolutely. After we built this gym, it really clicked for me to see women squatting, and the connection to childbirth is unbelievable.
Yeah, the core strength,
the positive connection
there.
And so doing a proper squat, being strong, being able to be in that position, being able to balance in that position is incredibly important. Mm-hmm. And again, it would be best to kind of learn that beforehand,
right?
Then when it's time to push that baby out.
Right, exactly. Yeah, and I mean, you've built those muscles, and they're there when you have the baby. To we just had a podcast on functional fitness and training, and if you think about it, you've built those muscles, those motor patterns, those functional movements that when you have this kid that you can do those daily tasks with those kids, carrying them in your shoulder, being able to pick him or her off the floor, whatever it may be. So it all plays a massive role, right?
Yeah. And when you scroll forward and you deliver the baby, and whether you're the mom or the dad carrying the baby, I still remember when you guys were little. I actually am a lefty that writes righty. So I do a lot of things with my left arm, even though you'll see me write with my right arm. And I would carry most of you guys in my left arm because I think it's a little stronger for me, or more functionally coordinated. And I would have neck pain and shoulder pain just from preferentially carrying that baby up until about 6 months of age on that one side, and that wasn't very functional for me.
Well, we can basically, the beauty of training is you weren't prepared for those movements or those positions, and we can train those positions and get you ready for anything. It's just like, having a baby is just like getting ready for a sporting event. We're practicing those movements. So
we need to start a birth fit class for men.
Yeah, there you go, right? And that would be very interesting, and I don't know if I would want to take on that task, but yeah.
Anyway.
So I guess going back to maternal health, and what is your, I guess, kind of, what are your thoughts on how can we, keep this, we can get the word out more, we can educate people, we can make sure that our, the maternal world is a lot healthier, and we can reduce the cesarean rate, and just kind of your overall thoughts.
So we started off by saying that the maternal death rate was rising in America significantly when it's plateaued or decreasing everywhere else. We touched on some reasons. It's the answers are complex, and it involves the delivery of health care, both from an insurance standpoint, from a facility standpoint, availability standpoint, and from that person herself. The individual obviously can't control where she lives or has to live because of her job or family. Access to care, there's probably not much she can do about it, but she certainly can address herself, her preparation for childbirth, and I think there's a lot that she can do to decrease your chances for having a cesarean delivery. You decrease your chance for cesarean delivery, you're much less likely to die in childbirth. And so that's the big picture. That's the take-home message. The number's going up. Yes, it's concerning. It's a red flag. The C-section rate is way too high. We need to bring it down. That's obvious. So let's do something about it. Let's get the word out. Let's get the message out. And let's women start spreading the word and helping each other as well.
Yeah, for sure. I totally agree. Well, thanks guys for listening. If you want to reach out, have some questions, or maybe you want to talk to Dr. Pohl about this issue, feel free to reach out at takecontrolradio@gmail.com. He's also on social media on Facebook and Instagram, Dr. Joseph Pohl. My name's Evan, and you can check me out on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, The Evan Method, and check out our gym. If you're in the area and you're thinking about being pregnant, you're pregnant or post-pregnancy, we have the trainers that are qualified to do that. And the gym is Forge RX. You can email me at evan@forge-rx.com if you got questions on that. Thanks for listening.